What's going on, everyone? So we got a Christian Wood update. So Christian Wood is starting to ramp up and is doing on-court activities with the coaching staff and just team members, right? Not quite there to where he's scrimmaging and, going through the practices and stuff like that with the actual team, but he is clearly kind of starting to gear up. Hopefully it's another probably couple weeks, I guess, maybe 2 weeks. So may get lucky and maybe come around Christmas, right? Maybe that'd be his first game. That might be a little too soon, but hopefully by like January or early January, he'll return. Jared Vanderbilt, he is still expected to be out till January time. The concern is reports have came out that the Lakers kind of want to see what Jared Vanderbilt as well as Christian Wood could potentially do for this team, and maybe that solves some kind of needs for them to where they don't have to go and make trades for others. I think that that's a terrible idea. I think that that is the last thing you should be doing. They should be looked at as like add-ons, right? Not add-ons in the trade sense, right? Although if you want to trade either, fine, go ahead, right? Again, the best ability is availability. What I mean by add-ons is you go and you trade for all the things you're going to trade for, right? Whatever that may be. Let's say, the Nets trade. Let's keep it simple, right? You go pull off Dorian Finney-Smith, say you pull off Cam Johnson, and you get Daron Sharp. Beautiful. Full package, let's go, right? You end up clearing a couple roster spots. You need a backup guard, let's say, and you go and you bring in, Markelle Fultz, because that's who the Lakers have been linked to. Lakers are apparently interested in potentially bringing in Markelle Fultz if they have a need at the guard position, right? Okay, let's go with that. Let's say you bring in Markelle Fultz, you bring in Dorian Finney-Smith, Daron Sharp, and Cam Johnson. Chef kiss. Well, then, if you still have Jared Vanderbilt come back and you have Christian Wood come back, well, then now that's just two more rotation pieces that step in rather than like, let's wait and see, and then now we don't. No, you need to operate and make the moves regardless. Jared Vanderbilt, I think, helps and solves a ton for this Lakers team, but he's not a two-way guy, right? He's not a guy that offensively is going to be that what we need on the offense side. I do think that J.J. Redick will be able to make him serviceable, and J.J. Redick's even talked about how Jared Vanderbilt, he already sees offensive sets and actions that he can put him in. Okay, great. I do think look, Darvin Ham was able to get Jared Vanderbilt to be like a double-digit scorer before he got hurt again, right? So I do have faith that J.J. Redick will kind of be able to figure out, a way to kind of utilize him. Defensively, again, the guy's arguably the best perimeter defender in the league, right? Again, makes a lot of sense. He's great. But we've also seen him get completely played off the court. Now, does that happen as much with J.J. Redick as it did with Darvin Ham? I don't know. We'll see. But it is a concern. But if he is an addition, right, if you get Cam Johnson, you get Dorian Finney-Smith, and you still have Jared Vanderbilt, and now you can have just Jared Vanderbilt as an assignment guy or on top of those guys and maybe have units out there. Could you imagine a unit where, you could have, LeBron be the point guard? You need a stop at the end or something, right? Or, you need to close a quarter strong and you have a lead, right? You could go with, Jared Vanderbilt, you could go Max Christie, Jared Vanderbilt, right? You could go Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, and Anthony Davis as a defensive unit, right? If you need to just, hey, we need to go get stops, right? Beautiful, right? To close out a quarter or to, close out a game or something like that. Again, he should be looked at as an add-on. You pull off the trades, and then you get that. Same thing with Christian Wood. Christian Wood is a guy that I've talked about heavily. How I really do think Christian Wood is a guy that could fix a lot of our bench problems. Not all of it, but a lot of it, right? He's a guy that has been, on several instances, off the bench, a 17-6 guy. Right? Not saying he'll be 17-6, but can he be 12-5? Off the bench? That's 12 points and 5 rebounds that we currently don't have. That would make a huge difference. Lakers need depth. They need guys that can step in and play multiple roles and play multiple positions. Christian Wood would give you that, right? Let's stick with my Nets trade, right? If you have, say, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, right? Let's just say that that's the 5, right? And then you have a Markelle Fultz a Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, Christian Wood, and Day'Ron Sharpe starting five, with Jared Vanderbilt as that assignment guy. Jared Vanderbilt as that guy that you can plug and play in spots, and kind of just like, hey, Vando, we're going to play you 4 minutes a quarter, and in that 4 minutes, your job is to just stop that guy. You see that guy over there? Stop him. I don't want him touching, seeing, looking at the basket, nothing, right? And you just have Jared Vanderbilt kind of focus and hone in all his energy, and now Jared Vanderbilt's essentially your like 11th guy. You're a very good basketball team at that point. Like, that is how this should be looked at and perceived. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, if Christian Wood can be great, well then now, like, you need depth. You're terrible. Even if Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt come back, let's say Jared Vanderbilt tomorrow comes back as peak Jared Vanderbilt, right? He takes some miracle cure and boom, he takes, Michael Jordan's secret stuff, right? Like, takes that and now he's ready to go. And he's at 1,000%. And Christian Wood, same thing. Let's say Christian Wood comes in and he gets back to being that, 17-6 guy off the bench. Like, that's great. Yes, that makes the Lakers better, but all of your problems still exist, right? You still have no athleticism out on the perimeter, right? You still lack two-way guys. You still need a backup center. You still need a guard, a forward, and a center. The three things that the Lakers are even aware that they desperately need, that they badly need, right? And the Lakers are supposedly making efforts. I think the guard position is probably the hardest, right? Because there's just not a ton of options there. The wing spot, I think, will be good because you have, like I said, you have the Nets, you have Kyle Kuzma, you have Jeremy Grant. I mean, you even have, like, to a lesser degree, like a Cody Martin, who's 6'6", 6'7", guy that can do multiple things out there on the basketball, defend 1 through 4, right? Like, I think the wing spot, Lakers should be able to address. The center spot, you just need a serviceable backup center, so I think they'll be able to address that too. Guard spot is where I'm concerned, right? Like, think of all the players that have been linked to the Lakers at the guard spot. It's like, Dennis Schroeder, Bruce Brown, Colin Sexton. Like, it's not, you don't have this like abundance of guards that can step in and play that role for the Lakers. So really, to me, it's like, unless you're getting a Colin Sexton or like a Bruce Brown, you're probably looking at the free agency, right? You're probably looking at like a Markelle Fultz or an Elfrid Payton, something like that, right? A Jordan Goodwin. Lakers just brought, Devonte Graham to the bench. Devonte Graham is, or not to the bench, to the G League. Sorry. Devonte Graham went to the G League, right? And he makes sense as like that vacuum scorer, right? Like, he was a guy that he's very like hot and cold, right? He's a guy that, like, when he's on, get out of the way. I think he had like a 50-point game or like a 46-point game, something like that. He's a guy, like, when he's on, he is money. You know what's funny, though, too, real quick? Like, I know it's like about Christian Wood and kind of Jared Vanderbilt and stuff like that, but sticking with Devonte Graham real quick is a lot of the perception of Devonte Graham is kind of the same thing of Malik Monk before he came to the Lakers, right? The Malik Monk we know now did not have the reputation and was looked at the way he was coming to the Lakers. Like, people were shocked that the Lakers got him for a vet minimum, because you got to keep that in mind. The Lakers got him for a vet minimum, but they weren't so shocked. They thought he'd be like get $5 million a year type thing. And he took a gamble on himself, and he was like, I was on a bad team as just like this thing because it's scorer. Like, let me go to a team like the Lakers with LeBron, with AD, Russ at the time, stuff like that. And like, if I can prove my worth, like, that'll give me an opportunity. It did. Could maybe Devonte Graham kind of fall into the same boat where, I don't think he's as good and gifted as Malik Monk. Also, Malik Monk was like 23 at the time or whatever, 24 at the time, where, Graham's 29, I think, off the top of my head. So you're big difference. But just like that guy, like, can he find a level of consistency playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, much like Malik Monk did? That could be something kind of bolster the bench. But to me, it's like you should be looking at Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood as depth pieces rather than the main piece. You need front-end talent. The trades that the Lakers are trying to make all are for front-end talent. It's to upgrade the front 5 to 8 guys, right? Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt should be that back-end talent. They should be the guys that are, you're just adding to what you've already given, right? You know, like you hear like, oh, well, you know, teams are gonna, because they haven't played all year, that's gonna be like an acquisition. Yeah, okay, fine. If you make the actual acquisitions, right? If you go and make the actual trades, and then Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood come in, right? Rather than like, oh, we only need to go get one guy because Christian Wood. No, like it can't be that way. I'm glad Christian Wood appears to be ramping up and looks like he's probably going to be back in a week or two. Again, we don't know this, just a guess based on, because he's now doing on-court activities. I imagine probably sometime next week he'll probably start doing team activities, and then maybe a week or so before that's probably about 2 weeks. Hopefully early January, Christian Wood can be back. If he can be back, again, that raises the ceiling for the Lakers. Jared Vanderbilt, if he comes back, again, raises the ceiling for the Lakers. However, it doesn't mean you don't need to go make trades, or now you don't need now you don't need Cam Johnson because, we got Jared Vanderbilt. No, like, please, I hope that they do the right thing. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? First off, are you excited for Christian Wood potentially returning soon? Do you think that, like, yes, he solves a lot? Do you think he solves nothing? Do you think that, yes, the Lakers have to still make trades, still have to stay the course, look at Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt as add-ons, as added depth, rather than like, oh, hey, now we don't need to trade for this guy or that guy? Again, how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. I love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.